Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. So I think today is the last monthly manis video. I think we're gonna get caught up. There's not a whole lot, there's a couple weeks of polish, but I think I have enough time to get everything caught up so that next week we can do a weekly manis video. So our next video will be a weekly manis video. So I'm very excited about that. I literally had no cats in here just 2 seconds ago, and now they've both jumped up here and have decided to lay in the nail polish like they did last weekly manis. Except now we have Poe this time. When they're gonna, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. This is a good start to the video. Cool. Okay. Well, that's gonna be happening through for who knows how long. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in so that way this video is not terribly long because we do have a couple of weeks. I will mention these were ones I ran out of time to talk about in the last video. These were from, I realized I forgot this one. This one was in the box, and then I was like, I feel like I wore this a while ago. And then looking at my timeline, I did wear it a while ago, and I just forgot to talk about it. So this is from November. This is Polished for Days Fireflies. This is a very popular polish. It's a very confusing polish, to be honest. It's got quite a bit of different things going on, so I wasn't really sure what to expect when I got it on the nail because there's a lot of different color swatches out there. And even when I got it on the nail, it is kind of a shapeshifter. It's really hard to describe, but it's really pretty from what you'll see here in the swatch. It's kind of a just dark blue base with just a crazy amount of flakies, that little bit of flash that you see there. It's also a little duochrome. It does shift a little bit, but I don't recall seeing that on the nail. It's really pretty in the bottle. It was really pretty on the swatch. I don't know if I loved it on my nails. It was pretty, but considering how many people love this polish, I was really expecting to be wowed by it, but I wasn't crazy wowed by it. It was pretty, but I wasn't like amazed by it like I thought I was going to be. So just a little underwhelmed with this. I feel like, I don't know if I'm in like a nail polish funk, but I feel like, especially last video, and I feel like I feel like that kind of with some of these nail polishes we have coming up. Oh my god, really? That I have been in a little bit of a nail polish, I don't know if it's a nail polish funk, but I feel like a lot of polishes are just very underwhelming to me right now. I don't know if my polish collection is getting too big at this point, if I'm just expecting too much from polishes, but you'll notice here, as well as in my last video, I just feel like a lot of the polishes I'm wearing are pretty, but I'm not crazy about them. So I don't know if it's just my polish collection is getting too big, and at this point I'm gonna need to start destashing polishes because I don't need to be keeping polishes that I think are pretty, but I don't think I'm gonna wear a lot. So yeah, so I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but hopefully there's not too many in this video, but I feel like the last couple weeks I've just been kind of like they're pretty, but I'm not crazy about them. So this one is a little bit of a dud, unfortunately. I was going to talk about it in my last video, but I wanted to give it another run just to see, and I'm still not crazy about it. So this is from Cadillacquer. It's called Wool Mittens. It is a thermal. Came out not too long ago. This polish from the swatch photos is, it's this kind of like grayish, it's kind of like a grayish blue color, and it shifts over into this bright peach, and it's got quite a bit of flakies and stuff in there. So it's a really pretty polish. There's some holographic glitter as well as some like copper flakies in here that appear to be kind of duochromy. So we'll see if we can pick that up here. So you can kind of see them there. It's a little bit of a dark polish, and I don't have direct sunlight right now, so hopefully you can kind of see that. So this polish is pretty in its cold state, but I never got this to transition when it was on the nail, so I found it to be a little bit of a dud. When I wore it that day, I wore a different base coat than I normally do. So normally for me, I paint my nails in the evening and then I go to bed, and most of the time I don't really see the shift until the following day once the nail polish is fully dry. So I put this on the night before, woke up the next day, and noticed that like as I was running my hands underwater, as I was kind of getting ready for work, I noticed that my nails weren't changing as much as other ones do, and I thought that was kind of odd. And so I get to work, and it's still not really shifting that much. It's just really sitting in this kind of grayish blue state. And I'm getting a little annoyed. It was, I mean, I was just like, why is this not shifting? I don't understand. And so I go to lunch and I go into the break room and I literally ran my hands under scalding hot water for a good 30 seconds and it finally shifted, but it didn't shift to the bright peachy color that you saw in swatches. It kind of got to like this like barely peach color. So I was very underwhelmed and I thought maybe it was and then as soon as I took my hand off of the water, it went back to this color. So I didn't really know what was going on. I texted Kendra because I know she got this polish and I asked her if she had worn it yet. She said she hadn't, but she would. And she ended up having the same problem. So I was really, this is the first thermal that I've gotten that didn't work. So I was a little kind of perturbed, but I did notice, I mean, I did know that I had used a different base coat. So I thought maybe that was it. So I was going to include this in my last monthly Mandy's video, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna test it out. Let me use my other base coat before I make a judgment call because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to jump the gun too much and say that it's a bad polish. So I did swatch it last week over my other base coat that I normally wear, and when I do swatching and not manicure, when I'm just doing swatching of thermals, I usually hit it with the blow dryer just to get the swatch photo. And so when I hit it with the swatch, when I hit it with the blow dryer, I did get that shift, which you'll see here. This is what it should look like. And I was like, okay, well maybe it's the base coat. And I texted Kendra and I said, you know, look, I was able to get it to change. I don't understand. But I knew I had kind of manipulated it a little bit with the blow dryer, so I wanted to be 100% sure. So I did leave 2 nails swatched with this polish and slept overnight and wanted to see what happened the next day. And the next day, the same thing happened. It would just basically stayed in this color. Every time I ran my hands under hot water or if I got them like semi-warm, it would kind of change into this like barely peach color, but it never got to that like full peach color that you see here. So I feel like this probably transitions, but it's never going to transition in normal body temp for normal body temperatures. You have to manipulate it or run your hand under scalding hot water, which I don't feel like most people are going to do on a daily basis. So if you got this polish and you had the same problem, please let me know. I know Kendra said she had the same problem and she said someone else mentioned they had the same problem. So if you got a bottle of this and you didn't have that problem, let me know down below because I am curious to see if everyone else is having this issue, because like I said, I've never had a thermal not transition on me, so this kind of really upset me because I really wanted that transition. I thought it was very interesting and, you know, just an interesting combination of colors, and the fact that I couldn't get it to change made me really sad. The color on this is pretty, so I don't, it's pretty, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it in my collection, and I don't know, unless somebody would want it as it is in this cold state, I don't know if I could necessarily destash this or throw this away. So at this point, I don't know what to do with this, but that is that. It's Wool Mittens by Colores de Carol. Very long discussion on that polish. I apologize. All right, so next up, this is gonna be my Christmas polish. This one is Amal from Zoya. It is a matte velvet polish. It's very pretty. It's just kind of a Christmassy red color that does dry matte, but I did put a top coat over it. It's very pretty. It's just kind of a, just very like nice shimmery red color. I could probably wear this matte if I wanted to, but I do like the little bit of sparkle it has on within it. It's just very like finely milled, crushed, pretty shimmer that's in it. So I could probably wear this matte, even though I don't wear a whole lot of stuff matte. This one I probably could, but I really wanted to get a little bit of that sparkle on the nail. So I did put a top coat over this. I did stamp over this. It was my Christmas mani, like I mentioned. So I did a really nice kind of Merry Christmas Christmas tree stamp, which I thought looked really pretty. So very happy with my Christmas manicure. This is a really nice polish. Had this in my collection for quite a while. I tend to pull it out every Christmas. So that again is Amal from Zoya. And then the rest of the week was a little purple heavy. I didn't really mean to do it, but I did. So once I was annoyed with Wool Mittens back there, I decided to try another thermal out. And I was curious to see if this is probably one of the oldest thermals I've had in my collection. This is Femme Fatale's End of the Storm. This polish is probably 2 years old, and I wanted to see, I wore it last year. I wear it every year because it's probably one of my favorite thermals. And I decided to wear it again because I always like testing it out to see how my thermals are doing. I haven't had a thermal expire on me as of yet, so I keep testing out my older ones periodically just to see how they're doing. And all of my Femme Fatale, the Femme Fatale thermals are probably the oldest ones in my collection. They were the ones that were doing thermals before almost everybody. So I do have 2 or 3 Femme Fatale thermals in my collection, and all of them are still transitioning as far as I know. So this one, like I said, I tend to wear this one every year. It's very, very pretty. It's just a gorgeous kind of like royal purple color with a beautiful flash that you see there, and it shifts to a gold. It has a flash as well as some small, some smaller like gold and copper glitters. I don't know why I keep holding bottles like that. It's driving me nuts. Which you can kind of see there. It shifts over to this really pretty gold color. It still shifts, as you can see here from the swatch, so 2 years going strong. I love this polish. I think just the purple to gold transition is really, really just pretty and regal looking. I don't know why, I just really love it. And I did do a stamp over this, which turned out really nicely, so I am pleasantly, I'm always pleasantly surprised that my thermals are still transitioning, because I feel like brands probably put a shorter shelf life, you know, warning on them just to like cover their butts a little bit, but like I said, this one's 2 years old and I didn't have any transition problems. It's still shifting perfectly fine. So that again is End of the Storm from Femme Fatale. Next up is another purple, like I mentioned, and this one I didn't have a very good luck with the first time around last year. This is Cirque Colors Coronation. Coronation is a very coveted polish. It came out, I don't know how long ago, but it goes out of stock quite frequently, and it is a very, like I said, coveted polish. Lots of people want it, so I was able to pick it up last year, and I had very high hopes for this polish. But when I wore it last year, I was very disappointed in it. I thought the polish formula was very bad. It just was goopy, and I had a lot of trouble putting it on the nail, and I just didn't care for the formula. So this go around, I decided to give it another shot because, like I said, I bought a color that's kind of similar to this last year. It's an ILNP. The color on it's slightly different, but it has kind of a similar effect. So I wanted to give this one more shot before I decided whether or not I was going to destash it. And if you've not heard of Coronation, it is a kind of just royal purple base with a whole bunch of, oh, come on, flat, come on, there it is. With a beautiful like red flash, as well as this gorgeous kind of gold shimmer in there. It's very, very pretty in the bottle. Unfortunately, I am still having issues with this polish. Not as much with the formula this go around. I did put a little bit of thinner in it, which I think did help, so I didn't have as much formula issues, but this go around I just wasn't crazy about the, like, I don't know, last year when I wore it, it was the formula, but I still liked the finish. This go around I was okay with the formula, but I just didn't care for the finish. I just didn't think it was that great. I don't know if it's just because I have the ILNP now, and I have some other similar polishes that give off a similar effect now. But I just wasn't impressed with this, so I'm still not impressed with it. For the amount of money I spent on it, like this was close to $20, and I don't understand why. Maybe at the time this was really, you know, popular and different, but now I feel like this can be replicated in a couple different places, and I was not impressed with this. So I have used quite a bit on this because I feel like I've swatched it a couple times for folks and for myself, so I think this will end up getting destashed. So like I said, I've got a bunch of polishes that need to be destashed, and I just haven't figured out what to do with them at this, or not haven't figured out, I just haven't had time to like put up a destash page and all of that. So but yeah, I think I'm gonna throw that in there. Just I wasn't thrilled about it, so I don't want to keep it in my collection, and I prefer that ILNP, I think, a little bit better. So that again is Coronation from Cirque. Next up is a similar polish that I've had sitting in my collection for the past year and hadn't worn yet. This is called this is from Pahlish. This is called Eternity, and again another royal purple with this really pretty flash that you can see here, kind of similar to Coronation, sort of with that flash that you see there. I thought this was really pretty when I first swatched it. I thought it was really pretty in the bottle. When I got it on the nail though, I wasn't crazy about it. Like I said, I don't know if I've got a lot of polish at this point, and I was a little underwhelmed with this. I thought the flash just didn't stand out as well as I thought when I initially swatched it. It just kind of blended in a little bit more than I thought. So yeah, I, again, wasn't super crazy about this. I feel like such a Debbie Downer this week, but yeah, a lot of these polishes I'm just very disappointed in. So that again is Eternity from Pahlish. And then this polish was a thermal that was released in the polish pickup for November, which I believe was Badass Women. And this was called, I'm Just as Strange as You from Heather Hues. I believe this was inspired by Frida Kahlo, the artist. And this is actually a really pretty thermal. Finally had a nice polish that I was excited about wearing. So this one I ended up picking up late because I had not, I've been trying to kind of curb my thermal polish pickups recently. I've been trying to kind of rein myself in a little bit, but a couple people ended up picking this up and I was a little worried that I was going to be disappointed if I didn't pick it up, so I ended up going back and getting it. So this one is a really pretty, let me double check on that because I feel like I'm forgetting what the thermal transition color was. Yes, okay. So this pretty polish is this kind of deeper wine red with a really pretty scattered holographic that you see there. There's some also some flakies in there that are kind of duochromy. Actually, I don't know if that's scattered hollow. Yeah, it's scattered hollow. And then there's also some duochrome pieces in there that you can see there. I don't know why my flash is, or my focus is being obnoxious. So a lot of stuff going on in this polish. Really, really pretty. So this shifts from this kind of like deeper winey red color to a brighter kind of pinky red. So it was really, really pretty. I enjoyed it very much. I thought the combination with the flakies was nice. And I think this is my first Heather's Hues. Do I have another? I think this is the first one I've gotten, I think. And so yeah, it was really nice. I really enjoyed the formula on this, so very happy with that. Wow, the sun just totally went out. I don't know if the color just changed crazy, but whew, that was weird. It just went from like bright sunny to crazy. So yeah, that again is Heather's Hues, I'm Just as Strange as You. And then next up is my New Year's Eve polish. I saw quite a few people wearing this for New Year's Eve. I feel like this was kind of a like easy go-to polish because I had been thinking about it all week and hadn't really come on an idea of what I wanted to wear. And then I saw somebody, I want to say it was ILMP, they posted this really cute photo of a polish similar to this, which is Cirque Colors Halcyon. So they posted an ILMP polish that was similar to this, and I kind of wanted to replicate the stamping that they did. So I picked Halcyon, which is a really pretty rose gold foil polish. And it is very like bright and in your face. It always looks more subdued in videos, but when you get it on your nails, it always looks like crazy, just crazy bright. So definitely a crazy New Year's Eve polish. And like I said, I saw quite a few people wearing this. And I did do some stamping over it. Definitely wasn't the stamp that I wanted to do. The stamp that I wanted to do was a little bit more geometric, but I could not for the life of me. I think the picture that I saw, like one nail was just like stripes and the other one had just a bunch of different geometric shapes that I thought were gonna look cool, but I could not get the stamp to pick up for the life of me. Like, I don't understand sometimes, like sometimes I stamp and the stamp comes right up and I have no problems, and other times it's a way less complicated image and I cannot get the stamping polish to pick up. Like half of the image will pick up, so I was getting so frustrated that I almost didn't paint my nails that day. So had a lot of stamping issues, but I think what came out ended up turning out okay. It just wasn't the art that I wanted it to be, but this is a pretty polish. I always wonder if because this is very blingy. Like, I don't think I could wear this any other time. I think I've worn this as an accent nail a few times, but I don't know if I could wear this in everyday life. And I know there's a polish similar to it called Himalayan something or another by Cirque. And I always wonder if I should get that instead because I think it's kind of a rose gold but not as blingy. So if you have Himalayan, whatever it's called that I can't think of. Oh, I keep wanting to say Himalayan salt, but I don't think that's what it is. Himalayan something. Let me know in what you think the differences are between these two, because I probably won't get Himalayan whatever it's called until I get rid of Cirque, or before I get rid of Halcyon, but sometimes I wonder if I should get that one instead. So that again is Halcyon from Cirque. And then for 2019, I have been going very kind of, I've been feeling a lot of like nudie, neutral. That tends to be what I wear in January, February, up until about Valentine's Day. I wear just a lot of, I feel like I wear a lot of colors during the year. So January and February are kind of my like restart time. So I wear a lot of just like neutral, nude kind of polishes. So this polish, first up, is London from Zoya. This is actually the first time wearing this polish. I picked it up, I want to say last year maybe, or I've had it in my collection for a while. And just grays I don't gravitate towards until this time of year. So a lot of my grays get a little overlooked the rest of the year, unfortunately. So this one I feel like I've had in my collection for a while and just hadn't worn it yet, so I decided to bust it out. It's just a really pretty kind of medium gray color in that pixie dust formula, so when it dries matte and you get a lot of those silver glitters that you see there. This is a beautiful polish. I can't believe I waited so long to wear this. It is super pretty, super chic. I really loved it. This is one of the few polishes I can wear matte, I noticed, because it's got quite a bit of sparkle once it dries down, so I thought this was a super pretty polish. I can tell quite a few Zoya lovers always say this is one of their favorite polishes, and I'm always just like, it's a gray polish. Why do you like this color so much? But then I put it on my nails and realized that it is really, really pretty. So that again is Zoya, London from Zoya. And then sticking with the kind of gray theme, I decided to bust this one out. I picked this up during the polish pickup a few months ago. This was May polish pickup, and this was the whole Brevity thing from Stella Chroma. And this is a kind of just like light lavender kind of grayish color, and it's got quite a bit of copper flakies in there. It also has kind of a duochrome flash, which you can't really tell here in the video, but it does have a little bit of a greenish kind of flash, but you don't really catch it on the nail too much, nor are you going to catch it kind of here in the video. But this was really pretty. I'm not crazy. For some reason, I just wasn't crazy. The formula was nice. I thought the color was okay. I don't know. I just was a little underwhelmed by it. I'm not exactly sure why. I just, I don't know if it's maybe this color combination. I just wasn't, I wasn't really feeling it. So don't really know. And I had the same problem with, if you've watched a couple of my monthly manis, a few months ago, I wore a polish similar to this from Lacquer, and I had the same kind of just like, it was pretty, but I wasn't really feeling it. So I'm wondering if this like lavender color, this like dusty lavender with flakies is just not my thing, because I feel like I felt the same way about that polish. So definitely a pretty polish, but I don't know if I'll end up keeping it in my collection. I just wasn't crazy about it. So that again is the whole Brevity thing from Stella Chroma. Next up is another thermal from Anchor & Heart. I picked this up a couple months ago. This one's called Changelings, and this is a really cool, interesting thermal color. So this is a, I don't know how you would describe this blue. I guess it's kind of a like, I don't know, how would you describe this blue color? Like a dusty kind of cornflower blue, maybe? I don't, oh, it's a weird blue. So yeah, maybe like a dusty cornflower that has it has kind of a blurple kind of feel to it. But yeah, so you can see here, it's got flakies going on, it's got a flash going on, and this one shifts to a, kind of brighter aqua color when it's warm. So very interesting color combination, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I thought the color combo was really interesting, and I don't know if this was the right pick for this time of year, because I thought the polish was pretty, but for some reason just during the day I felt like this is probably more of like a summery kind of color for me. So I'll probably bust this one out again maybe in the summertime, because I just felt like I kept looking at it like, oh, this is really pretty, but I just wasn't super crazy about it on my nail for this time of year. But I really did enjoy this. So I've been really enjoying Anchor & Heart's thermal so far. I had this one and my other one, which I featured in my 2018 polish favorites. So if you have not tried Anchor & Heart thermals, I definitely recommend it. She has a couple other ones she's released in the last like couple collections of hers, so definitely check them out if you're into thermals right now. So that again is Changeling from Anchor & Heart. And then last up for that week, you would have seen this in last monthly Manis because I was wearing it in the video. This is A. England's Scent of Azaleas. This came out recently in, she's got like a 2-piece collection going on, which is kind of weird. Like, they're 2 collections, but they're named separately. One's like a 6-piece, and one's like a 3 or 4-piece collection, but they're 2 separate collections, but they both have kind of a similar feel. I think one may be just brighter colors and the other one are more like subdued kind of neutral colors maybe, but I cannot think of the names of them for the life of me. I think one's white, one of them is Return of Mandalay, and I cannot think of what the other one's called, but they're essentially, they both came out at the same time, but they're 2 kind of separate collections, but they're all linear hollow polishes. So England, from what I remember, hasn't done a linear hollow from what I recall. So this was a new kind of finish for them. And these also dry, from what I was reading on her website, I think they dry semi-matte too. So I was very intrigued with the linear hollows. So I picked up 2 of them so far. I have not worn the other one. I've only swatched it, but this one I was eager to get on my nails because it was, the swatch photos I saw of it were like this fiery linear hollow, which I was super excited about. So Scent of Azaleas, it's just a beautiful kind of like medium purple color. I'm not in direct sunlight right now, so this is gonna look pretty boring. But yeah, so just a royal purple with a showering of, you won't really see it, I guess, you can kind of see it here. There's just like a shower of glitter, which you won't really tell until you get in direct sunlight that it is a linear hollow, and the linear hollow is super bright, super fiery, very, very pretty. The only thing I wish on these polishes, that I realize linear hollows don't get the full effect until you get into direct sunlight, but I kind of wish that you kind of saw like a little bit of linear hollow like when you weren't in direct sunlight, because like I said, for me, oh, my leg's falling asleep, sorry. Because like for me, like I've said before, I work indoors most of the day and I'm not outside a whole lot, so I only really got to see the linear hollow a few times, so I kind of was hoping that this was going to peek out a little bit during the day when I was in like the office lighting, but it didn't really do that, so that's my only gripe about this, but when it did get in direct sunlight, it was super pretty. So that again is Scent of Azaleas from A. England. And we've got Pooh! We've got Pooh! What's your name, Pooh? You gonna come say hi? Oh, Pooh. You never say hi in the videos. He's a shy guy. He's a shy guy. Yeah. You say hi to everyone in the video? Okay. Okay. Enough cat breaks. Alright. Next up is a Cadillacquer that I picked up a couple months ago, but like I said, it's I haven't said, but it is a gray polish, so it's taken me a little bit of time to wear it. This one is called White Night, and this one is a little bit more of a cement, lighter gray as compared to London from Zoya. And this one, so yeah, so a lot of people wore this during the fall time. Like I said, for grays, I have a hard time wearing them except in the winter time, so I decided to bust it out now. Very pretty. I did wear, from the swatch here that you'll see, I did wear this over, what did I wear this over? Cirque Colors Deco, which is kind of a like lavenderish gray color, so I probably should have worn it over something, although they were pretty close. Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, it was really, really pretty. Just, I don't know. Again, I was a little underwhelmed by it. I don't know if it's because these, you know, this color gray definitely fits the, you know, my theme for January, but something about those orange glitters just weren't really feeling wintry to me, so I could see why people were wearing them in the fall, why people were wearing this in the fall time. So I don't know when, I don't know if it was just the season or what, but I just was, again, a little underwhelmed by it. So, but it is definitely pretty. Just was hoping I was going to be a little bit more excited about it. So that again is White Night from Cadillacquer. I feel like such a like next up is Cirque Colors Tanzanite. This is another one from the Facets collection. This one is a very interesting blue. When I saw this swatched, I thought the blue was just super, super interesting. It's like this really weird kind of like royal blurple color. It's just very, very vibrant in the bottle. And again, it's one of the facets, so it's just got like a buttload of scattered hollow in there to make it super gem-like and sparkly on the nail. Again, I wasn't crazy about this guy. It wasn't as like, because in the swatch photos and here in the bottle, this like blurply blue color is super vibrant, but when I got it on the nail, it just wasn't as exciting to me as I was hoping it was going to. I was expecting it to be a little bit more like punchy and vibrant on the nail, and I just didn't really get that. So yeah, again, I wasn't super crazy about this guy either. So that again is Tanzanite from Cirque Colors. Next up is a China Glaze. I don't know why, but I've been seeing a bunch of people posting their swatches of the OMG collection, and I was gonna hold out because, again, I'm not super crazy about linear hollows, but I have been kind of getting into them. But China Glaze and me just have a very like hard relationship. Like I want to like China Glaze, and when I do get China Glaze, I just don't like them. The formulas are always kind of crappy. So I was not going to buy any. I had not bought any up to this point, but a couple people in the last like couple weeks have been popping up swatches, and I was just like, that's really pretty. I should get some, I think. So I picked up two. This one was probably the one I was most excited about. This one was BFF, only because I just don't really have a linear hollow kind of polish in this color, so I thought it was kind of interesting. So this one's just kind of like medium, kind of purpley pink. And again, it's got a linear hollow in it, so it's not gonna look super exciting here in the video, but so, it was okay. I thought the linear hollow on it was nice when I got it in sunlight. I wasn't crazy about the formula on these. The formula was a little thin, so I found it to be a little, if I got too much on the brush, I found it to be a little brush strokey, which kind of affected the finish on the nail. So yeah, I wasn't super crazy about this guy, and again, similar to the A England, I want that linear hollow, and I've had that with indies before, so I don't think that's too much to ask, but I like that linear hollow to just peek out like a little bit in indoor lighting, and this one, again, it didn't do it either. I only got that linear hollow like when I was in direct sunlight, which doesn't happen that much time during my day. So yeah, I wasn't super crazy about this one. I did do a stamp over it, and the stamp I wasn't super crazy about the stamp. It didn't turn out as nice as I would have liked, so just not a great mani. I don't really know how I feel about these OMGs yet. I feel like I'm kind of kicking myself, like, you know, you don't like China Glaze, why did you buy China Glaze? But I kind of got sucked in from the swatches, so I'm still debating on this OMG collection. So that again is BFF. Next up is the other polish that I picked up in the Cirque Colors Dreamscapes collection. This one is called Cloud 9. It's a really pretty lavender pinky, I would say it's lavender. The base is lavender, so it's gonna be more of a purple base, but it ends up looking a little bit more pink on the nail because, as you can see here, it's got that really gorgeous pink flash that you can see there. It does have a sprinkling of scattered hollow. Gorgeous polish. I am trying to fight myself. I really want to buy the rest of these from the Dreamscapes collection, but I'm trying to hold myself back a little bit, but I'm having a really hard time because they're all, the two that I've gotten so far have been really pretty, and all the other swatches I've seen of the other ones look really pretty, so like I don't want to get more of them, but I'm trying to like not buy as much polish, not trying to buy as much polish this year, so we'll see if I end up going back and getting more of them. But these two that I've tried, this one and Deja Vu, have been gorgeous, so it's kind of tempting me to go back. So this was a gorgeous polish. Love this one a whole bunch. Somebody asked me to swatch to show the difference between this one and Masura Lavender Lemonade, which I featured in my 2018 favorites. I will do that here on my Instagram page in the next like day or so. If I don't get this up in the next day or so, check my Instagram page because I probably already posted it. But I do plan on doing that here in the next couple days when I start doing some swatching. So that again is Cloud 9 from Cirque Colors. And the next up is another kind of dreary, kind of wintry shade for me. I have not worn this yet, so I decided to bust it out. It is a Acrylic from KB Shimmer. This one is called I Wet My Plants. I know this is a super popular polish for a lot of indie nail polish collectors. And this one is kind of just a dusty, kind of pale blue with a crap ton of glitter, obviously, because it's acrylic. So we've got purple, we've got a metallic, what do we got here? Is that a blue? I see like a metallic purple, metallic blue, silver, a little bit of pink. It's very, very pretty. Hopefully you can kind of catch that here. I always have a hard time in the viewfinder. It always looks like it's kind of clear in the viewfinder, and then I get it in editing and I'm like, oh, that looks crappy. But But yeah, this was highly suggested to me, and it's very, very pretty. It's probably not my favorite Crelly from KB Shimmer. Not really sure why. Maybe it was just, I don't know. I feel like this might be more of a springy polish, but since I hadn't worn it, I was kind of wanting to get it on my nails. So it may just be the season, but yeah, this was definitely pretty, just not as, I did have some difficulties with manipulating the glitters on this one. Some of my other KB Shimmer Crellys, the glitter comes off very nice and evenly. This one I felt like I was having to kind of fish glitters out a little bit, so definitely not as good of a, definitely not my favorite out of the Crellys, but I think the glitter combination was really pretty. So I wet my plants from KB Shimmer. And then last up, we're on this week's polishes. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited we're gonna be caught up. So this week I had just gotten in my Tonic. She did a restock a couple weeks ago, and I picked up several from the Christmas collection. I had not really been looking at the Christmas collection when it first released. Like I said, I've been trying to like rein in my shopping. But again, a bunch of people on Instagram were posting their swatches, and I was really intrigued by some of the finishes. I'm usually not a matte person, but some of the finishes were looking like they might be kind of interesting. And I'm always wanting to like matte polishes. I just always kind of, I get them on the nail. I'm always just kind of, they're okay. So I was intrigued, so I decided to pick up, I think I picked up 3 of the mattes, and then this one is the non-matte that I picked up. And this one's called Santa Baby. And Santa Baby in the bottle looks crazy beautiful, so it's why it was one of the first ones I picked it up. So it's this like coppery red color. It's coming up a little bit, I guess that's color accurate. So it's the kind of this like coppery red color. It does have a linear hollow from what you can see. Hopefully I don't know if you can catch that here in the video, but it does have a strong linear hollow when it's in the bottle. And it also has, this is a micro glitter, I believe. I want to say this is a micro glitter, or it's just got a crap ton of glitter in it. But yeah, so it does have a linear hollow, and I want to say it's got some bigger, I feel like it's got a very nice like micro shimmer, but then it's also got a couple larger glitter pieces. I don't know if that's going to be easy enough for you to see here, but this is really, really pretty in the bottle. On the nail, it ends up being a lot more red than I had anticipated, and you don't really catch that linear hollow. So this is pretty, and it's definitely good for a Christmas, it's definitely nice for the Christmas time. So as you'll see from the swatch here, it's very much more of like a Christmassy red. You definitely get some of the glitters, you don't get as much of the linear hollow. So I probably, you know, if I had gotten this before Christmas, you know, if I had gotten this when it released, I would have worn this in the Christmas time and I probably would have loved it. Now I wasn't really feeling it, only because I hadn't really looked at swatches, to be honest. I kind of just grabbed a bunch because I had seen people posting, and this one just kind of caught my eye, and for some reason I didn't realize it was going to be as red as I thought, so I probably wouldn't have worn this. Looking at the bottle, I was like, oh, this looks really pretty, I'm going to wear this one now. If I had looked at the swatch and realized it was more red, I probably wouldn't have worn it as of right now. So I wasn't crazy about this, but it was pretty. I feel like it's just the time of year. I wasn't really wanting to wear a red. I just thought this was more of like a coppery red. So yeah, we'll definitely wear this again, but first go around I wasn't super crazy about it. So that again is Santa Baby from Tonic polish. Next up is a Zoya polish, and this one I had not worn. This came out in the springtime last year. This one is Trudith. It's this really pretty, just kind of dusty, purpley pink color. I have quite a few of these in my collection, so I hadn't pulled this one out yet, and I've been trying to reach for some of the Zoyas that I got last year and just haven't worn yet. So this one is pretty. I decided to top this one with the ILMP topper, the Magician, which is this interesting unicorn pea topper, and I thought this combination looked crazy pretty. Like, I wasn't anticipating it to look as pretty. I just figured I wasn't ready for, I felt like this might be too springy, so I wasn't and I've been having such a hard time with polish this month that I figured if I wore just a cream, I was probably going to be a little bit, you know, disappointed in it. So I decided to try and top it with something just to kind of like liven it up a little bit, and I was really surprised with the color combination. I didn't think they were going to go as well as they did. So here's Trudith. Again, just kind of a like dusty, like purpley pink. It leans a little bit more purple than it does pink. And like I said, the Magician is this really interesting unicorn pea. It shifts from like this kind of reddish color to this pinkyish color to this like greenish color in certain lightings. So it's really, really pretty. It is hard to get your hands on. If you want to spend the extra money, Hypnotic Polish has had it in stock quite a few times, and if you don't have the cash for Hypnotic, ILMP does have a similar colored topper called the Alchemist, so look out for that. But I've been trying to get a little bit more into wearing that topper because I had searched for it for a while and it's been kind of sitting there, so I've been trying to like, you know, pull for it a little bit more. So I was very intrigued that this ended up looking as nice as it did. So I need to keep the Magician in my, you know, in the back of my mind so that I wear it a little bit more. And this polish was gorgeous, Trudith. Wonderful formula for Zoya. This is a really pretty for this time of year, also for the springtime. So this one was really pretty. So Trudith from Zoya. And then next up is another Heather Hues thermal polish. This one came out in the Hella Handmade Creations last month, and this one is called Drink the Kind of Hot Cocoa That's Wine. And I mostly picked this up because I didn't really need another thermal, to be honest. But unfortunately, Heather's Hues has changed. If you're unfamiliar with Hella Handmade Creations, it's similar to Polish Pickup, but they do each brand does their own theme each month, and so Heather's Hues has decided to switch over to Bob's Burgers, which is one of my favorite TV shows. So I was not looking to buy another thermal, but when I saw that they had switched over to Bob's Burgers, I was like, oh, why? So now I have to like fight myself to not want to buy all of the polishes because I love Bob's Burgers. But this was the first one she released for Bob's Burgers, so I thought I would go ahead and grab it. So like I said, Drink the Kind of Hot Cocoa That's Wine. It's a thermal polish. This one is a kind of just grayish blue color with a bunch of multicolored micro glitters, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to see because the base is kind of dark. It does also have that little bit of a flash that you can see there, but it's not super apparent on the nail. This shifts over to just a slightly lighter blue color on the nail, so it's very subdued. If you're not super into thermals, or if you like something that's not super crazy transition colors, this might be good for you. For me, I was a little disappointed. I wasn't super crazy about the transition. I just thought it was a little bit too similar to each other. I usually like something that's a little bit more in your face, a little bit more kind of like interesting changes. And so the change for me was just a little bit too similar, so I wasn't crazy about it. But it was really nice. The formula was nice, just not crazy about the color. So again, Heather's Hues, Drink the Kind of Hot Cocoa That's Wine. And then last up for this week is a Rogue Lacquer. I've been slowly working through the Wilds of Arizona Part 1 collection. I did not get Part 2. If you have Part 2, let me know. I'm still kind of on the fence whether or not I want to get that. But this one's called Geological Wonder, and this one is a tealy blue color with those gorgeous copper flakies that she's been doing for both of these collections. So really, really pretty in the bottle. I really liked this when I swatched it. Unfortunately, when I got it on as a mani, I wasn't crazy about it. I felt like the copper flakies got lost, which I feel like you can kind of tell here from the video, but I feel like the copper flakies just got lost a little bit on the nail. I feel like the base on this is just a tad too dark or too opaque. So I felt like at times I just didn't really catch the copper flakies as much as I would have liked. So it was really pretty. The formula was nice. I just wasn't crazy. I really wanted those I'm super into copper flakies right now, and so when I'm looking at a polish, I really want to see those copper flakies, and I felt like all day I was struggling to just be like, I was struggling to see them. So that's my only gripe with this polish. So that again, Geological Wonder from Rogue Lacquer. I don't know what I'm doing. So that's it, guys. We are all caught up. As you can see, I don't have any nail polish on today, which means we are finally caught up on monthly manis. I'm so excited. I'm hoping I can stick with it and do weekly manis, because like I said, I feel like, I know you guys like the longer videos and I love making long videos, but I feel like I can't describe the polishes as well when there's like 30 of them, because I can't remember sometimes like what I thought for the most part. So I feel like weekly manis I can give you a better like review of what I thought about the polish. And I apologize that the last month or two have been, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just being like super harsh on polishes or if I'm just in a funk right now, but I feel like, I don't know. Have you guys been like that at times? Are you like that right now? I feel like I'm just very, And it's nothing wrong with like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with these polishes, but I'm just wanting, like, am I expecting too much? Am I like so into indies now that I'm just like, I am wanting them to be more than they can be? I don't know. I just feel like such a butt today because I was just like, it's okay, it's pretty, but I don't like it. Like, oh God, I feel like a spoiled brat today because I was just, I don't think I liked half of those polishes and I feel like such a snot. But yeah, let me know if you guys have been like that, because I feel like I've been like that for the past month or two and I don't know if it's just the time of year, I'm just ready to get into color. Like, I don't know what the deal is. So yeah, let me know what you've been wearing, if you're in a funk like me, So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize again for being kind of a Debbie Downer, but that's where my nail polish has brought me the last couple months. So hopefully we can stay caught up. I hope you guys have been enjoying these monthly manis. I'd like to start trying to get caught up again so that I can do some other videos, because I feel like I've just been doing monthly manis like back to back to back, but I just haven't had the time to be filming multiple videos. So hopefully, and I think daylight savings is coming up in a couple, I feel like that's probably not true. It's probably coming up in like March or something, but I'm very, very much anticipating daylight savings coming back so I can film again in the evenings, so I can film more videos, because I just feel like my channel has gotten a little monotonous with just like monthly manis and hauls, and that's all I'm filming. But again, I kind of want to do some vlogging, but it's very hard to get, like, I don't feel like my life is that interesting to vlog, but we'll see. I'm definitely feeling like I'm in a funk right now. So anyway, let's end this video so I stop being a little whiny person. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are having a good polish month. Let me know what you've been wearing, what you've been buying, and I will talk to you guys next time.